Good morning, everybody. My name is Tyler Ellison. I'm just enjoying my morning chocolate smoothie. But today, I am going to be talking to all of you about the importance of meditating upon the sun. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but at least here in the Northeast, there's been not a lot of sunlight this spring. There's a variety of reasons why this is the case: naturally occurring, atmospheric conditions, probable geoengineering operations carried out by different scientists and scientific factions that exist in our world. These are all possibilities, but regardless, the idea is that sometimes the connection with the sun is not always as obvious as we would like it. And you may notice that on these days where the sun is not out, you are not feeling as good. Maybe you have lower energy, maybe you're a little bit more fatigued, maybe you're more prone to sadness, depression. All of these things are very common when the sun goes out. I personally notice it seems people are very affected by the sun not being out. I mean, think about winter time typically, or fall, right? A lot of times people, when the weather becomes cold or when the sun's not illuminated at its brightest, uh, you can see it in people. They oftentimes are less happy, and they're quicker to act in out of negative responses instead of more conscious, positive responses towards people. So it can affect people negatively, and one of the things is it can create a negative collective conscious. And one of the things that you can do if you consider yourself, a meditator or an esoteric practitioner, or even just someone who's just loosely spiritual, you can actually do visualization meditations upon the sun to actually channel into your system the energy or the chi from the sun. Now, it's a little different than when you're actually, exposing your physical vessel to the sun. And when that happens, all types of different genetic activations are taking place, and different hormones are being produced through direct sunlight exposure. But through these meditation practices, similar effects can be achieved, and the cosmic updates that the sun is giving us can still be downloaded. So even if it's gloomy, you can still take in all of the spiritual wisdom of the sun and its current up-to-date teachings, because that's what the sun is, right? It is photons, which are light, particles of light essentially, that take millions of years to come out of the sun, and then they travel to us and they hit us. So the light hitting us is literally millions of years in the making. It's ancient light. So we are getting ancient wisdom from a cosmic being called the sun. I'm being very poetic right now because it's a very mystical and magical thing. It's a ball of fire that gives life to earth. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful relationship that we have to the sun. And if you feel disconnected from the sun, please understand that there are many ways that you can begin to interact and connect with the sun. Now, one thing that I really like to do is an app on the Android store. There's many of them, and it's called Stargazer or Starfinder. And what it will let you do is it will actually help you to triangulate and locate the actual position of the sun in real time. So it means you can go outside, even if it's like cloudy and overcast, and you can use this app to actually find out where the sun is. And once you have the location of the sun, you can start to play with it. And you can do it without the location, but the location really helps with the connection, especially if you want to foster the physical connection. And here's the other thing too. If you are outside and it's gloomy but you can still see, guess what? That is sunlight hitting you. So just by knowing where the sun is and by being aware that you're still basking in sunlight, you're beginning to open that door of your psychic connection to the sun. Now, there are multiple power centers in the body, energy centers, where you can really absorb the solar energy. So you can bring in solar energy largely through the third eye. It's a very, very powerful solar center. So one of the things you can do is with the eyes closed, you're looking, and you can do this when the sun is out too. So don't feel like you can only do this when it's gloomy. If you want to deepen your psychic connection with the sun, you can also do this when the sun is out. It's so good. I'll give you the recipe in a minute. A delicious drink. So you're standing or sitting, whatever you like to do. You're facing towards the sun. You begin to breathe in the sun. Imagine violet light, right? It's cosmic light, ultraviolet light. So you're breathing in violet light into the third eye, into the eyeballs, and you want to breathe that in through the brain. You want to feel that light touching left and right hemisphere of the brain. You can breathe it back so it goes into the pineal gland, which is going to be level, right about here or so. Level with the eyes, right in the center of the head, right there. It's about the pineal gland, pituitary region, right? Major hormone centers, master hormone centers linked with the third eye and crown chakra. So you breathe that in, you're feeling the sunlight tickling the pineal gland, the violet light coming in. You can even feel it going back to the visual cortex, which is how we visually process the reality. So you can illuminate the visual cortex with the sunlight, so you're breathing that in. And then you want to continuously just sort of saturate the brain. And you want to have the tip of your tongue right on the roof of the mouth, so it's facing up like this. Right, and you're kind of about maybe an inch behind the front teeth. And what that's doing is it's creating an energy circuit. So the energy then that you have in the head, you can send it throughout the body. So whenever you're touching the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, you're creating a circuit of energy. So you're breathing this in. You're feeling the pineal gland warming. You want to start to generate saliva. Generate a lot of saliva. And you want to almost feel like the pineal gland is dripping sunlight into the mouth. And once the mouth is saturated with the energy of the sun in the form of saliva, you swallow it. Gulp it down. You follow it all the way down to the stomach, but then you follow it deeper. You send your awareness down into the belly. And you just breathe for a moment. You feel the belly illuminated with the sunlight. You feel the head illuminated with the sunlight. And now what you can do is you can go into an organ scan. So you're breathing in the sunlight, and you want to feel the sunlight first in the heart, because the heart is psychically connected to the sun. They both relate esoterically to the element of fire. So you start with the heart. And you can rub the heart like this, right? And you smile to the heart. You smile, you feel the sunlight to the heart. And it's very, very good. You're smiling in, breathing the violet light in, and you're feeling the light still just coming in through the third eye, still just descending to the heart with your breath. Every time you're breathing, you're feeling that light come into the heart. And then what you can do is you can actually move it through the major organs of the body, which relate to aspects of our consciousness. So once you have it in the heart, you can then move it down to the spleen, which is right under the left breast, right underneath the heart, sort of lateral, so more to the side. And you feel the ultraviolet light here, and you're smiling to the spleen. And then you can move up to the lungs, and you feel the ultraviolet light in the lungs. And once you have it in the lungs, you can touch your lower back. Excuse me, I almost fell. Touch the lower back, you rub it in the kidneys. You feel that sunlight in the kidneys. And then you tie it off on the left side with the liver. So you're rubbing the liver, breathing the ultraviolet light in here. And you can circulate that sunlight like multiple times throughout that connection of heart, spleen, lung, kidney, liver. Circulate that about 3 times. And spend as much time as you want smiling to each one, breathing that sunlight in. And when you are all done, you close your eyes, you take your hands, you cover the belly button, and you smile to the head, you smile to the heart, you smile to the belly button, and you tell all the energy to just come to where your hands are overlaying the belly button. You feel all that energy come in, and you just tell that energy, stay here. Please stay here. And then you're done. You can rub your hands and massage your head, kind of bring yourself back to the the physical reality a little bit. But that is a really easy way you can psychically connect with the sun if you feel you are a little less, obviously aware of it than you'd like to be. If you want to boost that connection up, powerful technique. It will, for those of you that are affected by, the seasonal affective disorder, or really don't, you have a hard time when there's not a lot of sun. this is a great exercise. I think you'll really, really, really enjoy it. So I hope you all enjoyed this meditation, inspired by Montauk Chia and the Universal Healing Tao system. These are great tools. They are the techniques I like to use, and this little gift I shared with you is derived. It's inspired by many of the solar teachings in that system, because a lot of their system is based on the cosmic merging of your physicality with these celestial or cosmic beings. So I hope you all have a great day. Much love, and go soak up the sun, my friends.